Hi entrepreneurs, and welcome to another sales class of e-learning video class. This is Tony Brancatella, and today we're going to shift into module 4, which is customer service. It's a shorter module, probably the shortest of all the modules. So it's just a basic, I think you pretty much have a good understanding, I hope so, about customer service and how you see customer service when you walk in as a consumer, as a customer, how you get treated and how well do you want to get treated or not. You know, it's amazing. I just we were looking for a new phone, and we walked up to a kiosk in a shopping center. This has just happened recently. And as we walk in, she was very nice, and she started talking to us and started to give us our information. A little abrupt and started cutting us off a little bit in conversation. And then, as we're talking, we're about to ask a question, and one of her co-workers comes up to her and nods her on the shoulder, and she doesn't say "excuse me" or anything. She just turns around and starts talking or try to answer her co-worker's question. And of course, we we just walked away. So there's all kinds of stuff like this. There's stuff like you walk into a place to fix your car, and they tell you, you ask how long will it take, and they say about an hour, and it takes 3, and then they say we're sorry. So what is that? Does that happen to you? Stuff like that? I'm quite sure it has at some level or some range, or something like that must have happened to all of us. And how do we perceive it? How do we take it? So all different aspects. So in class, I will give you this, and maybe you can get a early start on this. Just answer these questions. You can write them down. Which store did you visit recently? What is your most visited store? How was your overall visit? How would you rate the overall service in that store? What stood out the most for you when it came to service? Was there something didn't you not like about the service, or not? Is there something you would change or do different if you actually worked in that store? So this is some questions, just two very simple questions. You can just write them down and answer them, and we can discuss this in class. Just to go forward now, we'll look at some companies and why that some of the best companies always have the best customer service. So customers really look at these companies, and they're, I want to say, very loyal, but they do go back and shop there very often. So companies incredibly successful due to a focus on the customer experience. Things have changed enormously, and when it comes to customer service in the last few years, or last couple of decades, where everything is focused on the customer and repeat business. Repeat business is very, very important, and not just to look for new customers continuously. There's still a lot of companies out there, though, that I know. I used to work for one that really just looked at, more importantly, to get new customers than to really try to keep their existing customers. So here are some. Amazon, these are big companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. Amazon, Apple, Costco, and one maybe you might not have heard of, Salesforce, which handles all kinds of CRMs for major companies. So let's take a look at these individually. Amazon, very customer focused, and in many cases, if a package gets lost, they're not going to even ask a question. They're just going to automatically send you one and not blame the customer. So this, always has a great result, and it's a very great experience. You don't want to feel like you're the bad guy. Hey, I didn't get my package. Do something about it. So this is why a lot of people shop at Amazon for stuff like this. Much more, for sure, reasons to shop at Amazon. But that's one. Then you got Apple. The same can be said about Apple when it comes to the in-store experience. Most of the employees at Apple are very passionate about their products, and they really understand and know what their products are all about, and will answer all your questions. And these are actual employees for Apple. So the result, incredible brand loyal. So really, they can charge more because they know customers will come back and have a great experience So yes, customer service does cost a price, and that's why sometimes you look at this a company like this, and they charge more. They've got a Genius Bar in their actual stores, and this is really a customer support concept, which is really brilliant when you think about it. And most companies don't do this. And even just to call it a Genius Bar right there tells you how upfront they are and how advanced they are. So the result, Apple having the highest sales per square foot of any retailer, in pretty much tells you a story about how they look at their customers and how they want them back, how they want to keep them. Costco. Most of you probably have shopped at Costco. So Costco, customer experience at Costco is really great. They have a fantastic uh, return policy when it comes to the industry and retail. So they, in most cases, won't ask you for a receipt when you return items. I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but they won't. So this is really something special with Costco. They really want to keep you. And they know the importance of keeping you and keeping familiarity and keeping aspects like that. And so, yeah, they do things like this where they don't charge you, much for a hot dog and haven't done it for a long, long time. So that's a big thing for them. And when you know that that's going to be, it's expected from Costco. So most customers don't know that you can even trade in your old electronic devices and they'll give you a credit. I'm not sure you know this or not, but they have so many things like this at Costco that you need to go in there and really ask a lot of questions to find out what they have, what they offer you as a service to you, the customer. Another one, not necessarily in retail directly, more into B2B. I just want to put it up there to give you an understanding. There is customer service not just for retail, but also into business to business operations. This one is a CRM platform, which is customer relationship management. They really take care of all your customers and finding how to support them, find solutions, and also what kind of extra services they could offer. So they're very big and strong sales force in the world. Here again, very strong customer service. They find customers, win customers, and the main aspect for most of these companies you've seen, actually all these companies I've just shown you, is to keep customers. So customer focused and transparent. Transparent means there's no BS, it's straightforward. Will publicly disclose in real time when its cloud services are unavailable or having reliance issues. So customer trust, paramount importance to the company as transparency builds trust. So when you have issues, you come clean, certainly it builds a lot of trust. And that's what these companies are all about, and that's what customer service is all about. So find customers, win customers, keep customers. So the lesson learned is the customer is always right, even when you might not seem to be. So understand, optimal and highest lifetime value of a customer is a result of superb customer service. I think we mentioned a little bit about lifetime value. Do you know what your lifetime value when you walk into a Costco? How much do you buy in one day, in 1 month? How much are you worth to Costco in 1 year? How much are you worth to Costco in 10 years or even further in a lifetime? So if you can calculate that, you'll understand the importance of you as a customer to shop continuously all the time at one store. In this example would be Costco. So online ratings, of course, have altered the customer service role to the benefit of the consumer. So we rate continuously, and when you rate companies, certainly everybody's watching and understanding what that means, and it certainly does mean something to customers, and they know that a customer who rates a company very low is listened and heard. So and on both sides, the company listens to your ratings, and certainly other customers read the ratings too. So same thing, find customers, win customers, keep customers. The same can be said for many other industries or many other companies that do track ratings. And here's are some of the companies that do track ratings and really pay attention to what you say and how important that is. Just to give you an example, I had an issue with, like I mentioned before, a car dealership might say, wait an hour and for your car, and it takes 3, and you're not really happy because you sat there for 3 hours while they served other customers, and they came after you, and you know the feeling. It's not a very good feeling. And then as you leave the store, well, you leave it with a very sour taste in your mouth. They send you a email to feedback to find out, to rate them on your service. So kind of funny, you can just tell how funny that would be when it comes to something like that, how I would rate them, waiting for 3 hours when they told me it would only take 1, and all the while they just sit there and no one comes and see you to tell you anything. So ratings are important, right? Find customers, win customers, keep customers. So superb customer experience equals more loyal customers. In other words, customers that will buy over and over again in the same store. And they will spread the news about that store too and say, hey, you want a good experience, go to this store. So who will spend more money on a company's products and services in the long run? You will, certainly, if you are given superb customer experience. Now, if a customer has a poor experience, all their online contacts might find that out very quickly, which is exactly what I'm just telling you now. If I post my feedback, bad experience I had at the car dealership, a lot of people will hear it. Hopefully the car dealership will also hear it, and who knows, they might do something or compensate me in some way. So it takes a long time to build brands. It takes a long time to bring customers back over and over again, to build loyalty, even when you do mess up. But when you do mess up, what do you do to correct it? So this is what's really important to a lot of customers today is, yes, it's going to happen where there's going to be issues with service, but what do they do to fix that, and how fast do they fix it? But in some cases, right, today's world, it's changing. A lot of customers don't relate to this anymore. You mess up a couple of times, no matter what your excuse is, no many times you say you're sorry, they will not come back. So you can say that a company is only good, as its customer service. So would you say the customer is always right? Right? Well, that's a question that you can put over and over again, and maybe we can discuss this in class. Having answered those first few questions, maybe you can discuss it and give me your opinion. Is the customer always right? So certainly, if we look at customer service, good service always makes the difference. So what is customer service? So customer service, if you want to define it, it would be the process of ensuring customer satisfaction with a product or service. Customer satisfaction. Are we satisfied? Will we buy again? Did we get enough for our money? This is what we talked about in the process when we looked at in the last module. So it takes place while performing a transaction, such as making a sale or returning an item. So this, of course, could happen in person, on the phone, or more and more today online. So let's look at a couple of examples just to compare and see exactly what customer-centered approach is, right? So customer-centered approach, it goes beyond just simple service. It's really proactive instead of being reactive. Proactive means you're doing things without being asked to do them, while reactive, you start saying sorry and you start, giving them rebates or sending them all kinds of stuff to make them happy. But proactive is you do these things before the customer even complains. So the awareness of what's happening around the customer is very high. So you're You're ready to answer all customers' questions. You know what the answers are. You've researched what their needs are. You are proactive. So as a company today, to build a brand, you need to be proactive. So let's compare. We're going to look at a little comparison here. Two companies, let's say. One is called HortyNet Garden Center. Be like that name. I just made that up. And here's another one I just made up. BioFlores Gardens Inc. Okay, so let's compare their customer service. So HortyNet, they greet their customers politely. However, during the week, their sales staff doesn't have the knowledge or experience to answer all their customers' questions, because during the week, certainly there's less business than there is during the weekend when it comes to gardening. And also, in their stores, their signs are not always up to date, which causes a lot of problems with out-of-stock products and pricing. So this causes a lot of issues for them. But their checkout is certainly very fast, and their delivery, they do deliver, which is very appreciative by the customers for sure. So they do have some good stuff, and they do have some pretty bad stuff that they have to work on. Let's look at BioFlores. So BioFlores, customers are greeted like queens and kings when they walk into their stores. They know their customers very well. They also know what their customer's age is, and it's about 60 years old. So you tell me what generation that is. So they have installed garden chairs, a coffee machine, which is upkept daily. That's the worst thing. You're going to put chairs and a coffee machine and even magazines, and if the chairs are broken and if the coffee machine has no coffee or water in it and stuff like that, what's the use? It looks even worse. So that stuff has to be upkept, and BioFlores upkeeps it. So good scheduling allows them to have always an expert gardener around to answer questions also during the week. So this is BioFlores. Let's keep going with BioFlores. Their in-store catalogs are updated daily. Their toilets are clean, and also have a good checkout and delivery, plus also valet parking service for all their customers on weekends. So this is really important. So you can have an understanding of which one goes a little bit further just based on that. Right? So which one offers better service? Both do, really. I mean, they really do. But BioFlores goes further. They take it further. They are more customer-centered than the other store. So customers, number one subject on their weekly meeting agendas, they always talk about their customers. One step further separates them from the rest, certainly does. And their continuous improvement on customers, which they have to get feedback on through surveys, really helps them keep up to date on what the customers' needs are, or customers' concerns or complaints. So even little things like that, as you can see, just comparing these two companies, you can see that BioFlores goes a little further. So customer-centered approach, which is our foundation. So the customer should always be the number one priority. Everything depends on them, right? All depends on it being the customer, being number one. You take away the customer, you've got no sales, you are not in business. So the customer determines the value. Products and services never value more than the customer. And this is the unfortunate part. A lot of companies value their products and services more than the customer. This is an old way of thinking, which is changing based on a lot of these major companies today. Company success depends directly on customers that come back and come back and come back. And they stay one step ahead to retain customers. This is very, very proactive, very important in customer service. All this stuff you probably know and heard of, but to put it in practice is another story. A lot of companies don't do this, like that dealer or like that kiosk for the phones. So customer satisfaction certainly is never attained. If you ever feel that you have attained a certain certain quality service and you don't want to go any further, this is when you start going backwards. So being in business means to always be consistently, daily, and permanently engaged in what the customer or your customers want. You need to be proactive. So it's really a cycle. So this is the circle of satisfaction, if you want to call it that. So we can step into this circle just about anywhere. So as I'll show you right now, you can step in at increased revenue. Increased revenue, employee decision involvement, right? To get increased revenue, employees have to be involved in the decisions that are going on. Customer satisfaction, to give customer satisfaction. So the more employees are involved in making decisions on what the customers require or need or request, the higher the customer satisfaction and the higher repeat customers. Now, this is where the circle keeps on going, because we can step in everywhere. Let's say we step in, repeat customers, increased revenue. Automatically, if the customers keep coming back, you will get more money. So this is a very important aspect of customer service. So how do you define customer service? How do you define all this? How do companies define? Do they have messages that they pass on to customers to make them understand what their goals are? Certainly they do. And let's take a look. These are called mission statements. So this is Costco. So Costco's mission statement, is a place where efficient buying and operating practices give members. So when you step in there, you are a member. Members access to unmatched savings. So that is their mission statement. Now, here is another one. Tim Hortons, to deliver superior quality products and services for our guests. Now, you went from members to guests and communities through leadership, innovation, and partnerships. So these are mission statements. Here's another one. This is the electric car company called Tesla. Very simply, to accelerate, sorry if I cut the word off, to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport. To accelerate the advent of sustainable transport. Here's Amazon. Very clear. We seek to be Earth's most customer-centric company, where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online. What sticks out about this is the fact that you got the word customer twice in their mission statement. So you know where Amazon is going, or what they look for in their future. Microsoft, we believe in what people make possible. Our mission statement is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. To achieve more. They empower you and to achieve more. This is Microsoft's mission statement. So here are some more. Can you guess this one? If you guessed Dole Foods, that's correct. What about this one? If you've guessed Dell Computers, 2 for 2. Let's see if you can go 3 for 3. A little bit more difficult, this one. To offer the utmost possible learning experience, integrating passion, far-reaching focus, rank respect, and lachrymose levity. That would be mine. That's my mission statement. So you, as a singular customer or person, you can have your own mission statement in life, but most companies, they need to have a mission statement. So a mission statement, if you have to define a mission statement defines a company's purpose and primary objectives. So this is really a statement of the company's success, as you saw in those examples that I gave you, including mine, I hope. So a mission that defines what you are doing, values that shape your actions, and action plans to guide your daily, weekly, and monthly actions. Now there's mission statements, and there's also companies that nowadays, besides mission statements, they go out and have a promise, a step further. They're promising you their service. And you can see one here. This is energy source, natural gas. We are committed to making your experience with us the best it can be. We have created and implemented a customer service promise. Here's another one. This is Hyundai. This is the way they finish it. If you stay with Hyundai service, you would have unforgettable experience with your drive. Incredible. Our sincere commitment for customer-oriented service is written in Hyundai's customer promise, and the promise shows that we always consider each customer a valuable driver, and so on. So this is the next step today, is companies are offering you or giving you a promise, a step further than a mission. Here's another one. This is GE. So you can find these for just about every company there is. So this is exactly what I want you to do in this exercise. I want you, this will be attached to this exercise in Google Classroom. I want you to first search for a well-established retail company from which you have purchased a product or service. It has to be retail, has to be Canadian as much as possible. If it's really just, an American company here, that's okay too. So find and write down their mission statement. Go online and find their mission statement, or if you can find both, that's cool, but one or the other, or their company promise. Now once you have done that, very simple stuff. Number 3, now imagine you are working for this company, and then answer the following questions. A, does the MS mission statement or CP company promise mirror the company's customer service and what you believe the company does in reality? In other words, what they say is what they do, mirrors. So now explain your answer. B, in what way does the company's MS or CP influence you if you would work there? So if you would work there, would you want to work there based on their promise and their mission statement? And would you follow and do exactly what their mission statement or promised says it would do? And C, what would you have to do to be dedicated to the company's mission statement or company promise? So, very easy exercise. You can fill all that in. Here's an example of one. This is Canadian Tire. We are a proud and Canadian company that knows life in Canada better than anyone else. We offer products and services that help Canadians live active, healthy lives in our store network and staff connect communities from coast to coast. So certainly don't look for Canadian Tire because it's right over here. But do look for other companies and find out what they are. Try not to find the ones that I already posted, like Costco, if it's possible, or Amazon, but there's so many more stores out there that have mission statements. So that would be the exercise right there. I'm going to stop this here now because it's getting long in tooth. Almost 30 minutes is pretty long. So there's 2 exercises. Like I said, the first one, just write those questions down at the beginning and answer them, and that would be the exploration part of the exercise of the actual exercise for customer service, and then this mission statement one also. Great. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in class.